Hi everyone, and welcome to Less is More Horsemanship. I'm Michael Gonzalez, and this sleeping beauty is Hondo, my 4-year-old Bureau of Land Management wild Mustang. I received an email, someone making a request or asking me how we set a foundation for some good lateral flexion. The lateral flexion is important. Most people associate it with just pulling the head around to the knee or a one-rein stop. In and of itself, lateral flexion is not the one-rein stop. It is just a component of the one-rein stop. So we're going to get Sleeping Beauty here to wake up, and we're going to show you how we set the foundation very quickly for lateral flexion. This is only the second or third time that we've actually worked this together. And we're going to try that. So the first thing I do is, 1, wake my partner up. 2, we're going to take our fingertips and we're going to place them on the other side of the nose. And I kid you not, folks, this horse is not medicated. We're going to take our fingers and we're going to put them on the other side of the nose right here. There's a nice hollow. I'm going to show you on this side. There's a nice hollow right here. And we're going to put it right on the other side. Now I'm not using my thumb because I'm not pinching the cartilage. I'm just holding right there. My other hand is going to go right here on the withers, and this is going to allow me to stick with my partner should my partner move. Now your partner is going to go through 5 different maneuvers or tries. Please don't think of them as being disrespectful or trying to avoid your request. They're just trying to figure out what it is you want. One of the things they're going to do is they're going to dive bomb their head underneath the pressure. The other thing they're going to do is they're going to raise their nose and tip it up and go up against the pressure. Third, they're going to disengage their hindquarters and try to line up their body with their nose. 4th, they're going to back up. And 5th, they're going to yield. And I want you to remember that when we're dealing in lateral flexion, we're going to reward the millimeter of a yield. We are working in millimeters here. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to ask my partner to stand here while I put my fingers in place. Now the flies are a little bad this evening. And I'm going to put my hand here. Now here's another important thing. I want to make sure that I'm not putting pressure and pulling. I'm not going to pull, but I don't want to pull straight back. I want to hold, but I want to create a way for my partner to understand that the path of travel is semicircular and it comes like this. So with that, I want to make sure that my body doesn't fill this space. If I do, I'm too close to his eye, he's going to get claustrophobic and feel that he has no place to move. So I'm going to ask Hondo. I have my hand on his wither, my other hand on the... I'm going to ask him, Hondo, flex. Look, there's a little bit of a dive bomb. Hondo, flex. Flex. Now I'm just guiding. Now he kind of gave and I missed. There it is. And we're going to let that go. Now that was a mental and emotional yield. He stayed, he gave softly. When I released, he stayed there. That is mental and emotional. If your partner just straightens up his head as hard as can be or as fast as can be, that is a physical maneuver and you do not have lateral flexion. So I'm going to ask my partner again. Put my hand on the nose, my other hand on the withers. I've made sure I'm not body blocking him. And I'm going to say, Hondo, flex. Good boy. And we're going to let him stew right there for just a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to build on this. I don't care if my partner gets to this point where we're touching here or not. All I care about is that we get that millimeter of a mental and emotional yield. So one more time, we're going to ask him to go flex. Hondo, flex, please. Flex. Flex. I'm just holding, and I'm just going to ask for a tiny bit more than what we usually get. Flex. There we go. Now he gave. And we're going to let him cook and stew for a minute. And of course we would go to the other side. Now here's the thing, why do we do this? Well, here at Less is More Horsemanship, we ride in an AB side pull halter. You know, there are a lot of replicas on the market now, but I've been using this one about 8 years and it held up just fine, and it's the only thing that we all ride in. So one of the great things is that after I do my groundwork, we can sit here together and I'll just attach my reins just like this. We'll go click here and we'll click it to the other side. And if this was my mare, or if we were riding Hondo at the moment, we'd just jump on him, we'd be ready to go. But here's the thing, everything that we just did is going to directly translate to being up in the mounted position. So now let's just say that I'm in the saddle. And I'm going to pick up my rein, and I'm going to ask my partner the same thing. I'm going to make sure that the path of travel is correct, and I'm going to ask for a flex. Hondo, flex. Flex, please. Good, there's a little give. And we'll let him wait. There we go. Hondo, flex. Good. And we'll let him rub. And this is how it directly translates to what we're doing in the saddle. Hondo, flex. Now he's a little stiff right there. Even though he turned his head, he was just a little bit stiff. Hondo, flex. Now he's going to move his feet. And what I'm doing is waiting for him to get soft right there. And that was a nice lateral flexion. Now, it's not perfect, it's the foundation. But that's what we're going to use to build on and perfect from here on out. So that's lateral flexion for you. And lateral flexion is important because it builds flexibility at the pole and axis, down the neck, into the shoulder, through the barrel, and eventually it'll connect down to the back legs. And that's what we want. So remember, lateral flexion is not about pulling your horse's head around to your knee. It's not about the one rein stop. It is just about a mental and emotional request, and you're working in millimeters. Okay, so that's lateral flexion. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you on the next lesson. You did good, boy.